Enter the demo scene and then enter play mode. In the middle of your screen, you'll see 3 white cubes and a red cube. The white cubes are my player placeholders, and the red cube is an enemy placeholder. Now, if you navigate up to the top row, where it says aura name and applied, those correspond to the different player placeholders. They tell you if they currently have a particular aura applied, and it'll print it out there. And then if you go to the bottom row, that has some of the included auras already made for you. And then it's going to list information such as who's currently using it and what other users are affected by it. So if you hit 1 on the keypad, you'll see that the first aura is activated. It's the generic max HP increase. You see our users, demo player 1, and this one has an AoE effect, so it's also affecting demo player 3 and demo player 2. The pink circle you see is just representing the radius of this aura. Now if you hit keypad 2, you'll see that the generic regen HP and MP aura is now activated. This aura has AoE effect, but also what I like to call a pulse, and that's a continuous application of the aura to those within the AoE radius. Keypad 3 will just activate the generic max AMP increase there, and then same information is listed as you'll see who's using it and who's affected by it. At the top, if you take a look, it even has the name of the aura being used, generic max MP increase, true. And you can see that the other ones are false or true depending on if they're on or if they're off. Now all these auras will stack with each other. That means all these people within the radius will get an HP increase and an MP increase, and they'll regen their HP and MP because they're all part of the same target group. But if you hit 4, you'll see that the enemy's aura is turned on, and it has no effect to other users because the enemy is part of a different target group. Back in the scene, let's take a look at the demo aura mod. And if we look, we have demo toggle aura. So this thing has an aura to toggle, and also what's called a receiver or an aura controller. The aura controller is just a persistent object that keeps track of which auras are currently applied and which ones aren't. Let's go back to the demo aura mod here, and let's take a look at aura by double-clicking on the generic max HP increase one. A couple of things I want to highlight is one, the aura category. So the aura category is really only used by the aura controller, and it allows you to define different categories of auras, so you could have more than one active at a time. Another thing I like to highlight is the aura groups. Right now this is set to friendly. You can have more than one group, and these are just the groups that the aura will affect. So you could separate it by packs, by friendly, by foe, by town NPC, by anything you like. And pulses you see here is what showed you earlier with the regen. So this has a continuous application of the aura's effects. And then the pulse rate, so that's also in seconds. And finally, there's the AoE, or area of effect. So this has a layers to check because it's using Unity's physics system to either check against colliders. And these could be either colliders or collider 2D. Then you have the area of the radius because it's doing a sphere cast. And then you have how often do you want to recheck the surrounding area. Now let's take a look at aura logics. This is the logic that's run once the aura is applied. So you see here, these are also scriptable objects, and I could choose more than one at a time. So the included aura logic you have has examples of increasing max health and mana, and regenerating health and mana. You could duplicate these and change the value, and then you could assign them to new auras if you like. So overall, you have an aura which can pulse, you have an aura which can have an area of effect, an aura which can target only certain groups, an aura with logic that can be run, multiple different types of logic, and you could create new logic easily and seamlessly, and can also define different categories, so you're allowed to have more than one aura at a time. Thank you for your support, and happy making.